Hello, today I wanted to chat with you about some new beauty releases, some new makeup that I am not buying. And I'm going to do it while putting on my makeup. I have some new makeup, kind of a smorgasbord here that I'm going to be reviewing soon. So I thought I could apply some of this, some of my regular makeup at the same time while we chat. I know it's my job to review and test makeup, but it's also my job to help you make more informed buying decisions. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. And let's go ahead and get started. First off, my left eye is just watering constantly. My allergies and sinuses are out in full force. I think because it's finally cold enough here in New Orleans for us to turn the heat on to burn fires. My eyes are drying out and watering as a result. So I pulled out my eye drops, Refresh Digital. I don't know if you know this exists, but if you're on the computer a lot like I am, these are really good for lubricating your eyes. I know everybody everywhere talks about Lumify, and I have those too, but those don't help re-wet your eyes at all like these do. So that's just a side note because I know a lot of us, especially over 40, get dry, watery eyes. So if you haven't tried these, they're really good. So I put some in this morning and it's better, but it's still acting up. So bear with me while I probably dab my eye throughout this entire video. Let's talk about some complexion products I'm not going to be reviewing while I apply one I am. So this is the new to the US Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte Foundation. I have been waiting for this to come over here for so long, it seems. I got it in shade 125. I've applied this once. I've already started testing it out. It is going to be in an upcoming foundation roundup. And because you're going to be getting reviews on all these products in other videos, I'm going to keep my commentary about them really short and sweet in this one, since that's not what this video is about. So let's talk about the L'Oreal Paris Lumi Glow Skin Tint. It's supposed to be a moisturizing sheer skin tint with reflective pearls that gives a glow and slightly evens your skin tone. This is just not made for my skin type, and I know that's never stopped me from reviewing products before. My skin type is combination oily. It's pretty normal and can be dry around the perimeter, but I get some shine and oil breakthrough in my T-zone. And that combined with the humidity that I live in year round, even when it's cold here in New Orleans, we have a high level of humidity, but it is warm and hot here most of the year anyway. But what killed this for me was when I saw the before and afters and the visible texture and pores in those afters. And I think I'm getting some pilling, not from this foundation, but from a vitamin C that I'm testing out. But the foundation itself looks really pretty, just like it did the last time I tried it. So I'm happy about that. So although I do have viewers of all ages here, the majority of my demographic is aged 40 and up. Our skin is more lax. We have more visible pores and texture. The pearls in that foundation and the reflective quality of it is just a no-go when it comes to pores and texture. It's just going to make that more exaggerated. I have other products in my collection that can give me a similar effect. I can mix foundations with luminous highlighting products like Hollywood Flawless Filter or dupes of Hollywood Flawless Filter without exaggerating imperfections. Now, if I start seeing rave after rave after rave with any of these products, I mean, you know, I could decide to try it out, but this is where I stand right now. So this shade 125 matches nicely to my neck, I think, and we have this side compared to this side. I'm still testing this foundation, but so far I've really been enjoying it. I mean, you'll have my full verdict at my upcoming foundation roundup. I haven't decided if I'm going to separate it by drugstore foundations and high-end or by new foundations and foundations I have just never tested before, because I have a mix of both. I have some new foundations that are high-end and drugstore, and I have several foundations that I'm finally trying that I just never did for some reason. So I don't know, leave me your thoughts on that in the comments down below. That leads me to NYX's Buttermelt Glaze Soft Glow Skin Tint with SPF 30. I'm going to put on my Bobbi Brown Bisque Corrector and play around with some of these stick products from CoverGirl and Maybelline while we chat about that. Now, the pictures can be deceiving, but this just looks like a complete nightmare for my skin type, especially once the weather gets warm and humid or hot and humid. This is supposed to give you glazed donut skin, which again is going to look very shiny and reflect any pores and texture, wrinkles, fine lines that you have, usually, unless I start hearing differently. differently. If you have young, smooth, perfect skin, it may be great for you. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Skin Enhancer Contour Balm in the shade Snatched. I'm just gonna place a few dots on this side and see how this blends out before I do it anywhere else. And this is the e.l.f. Liquid Bronzer and Contour Duo Brush. So I'm just gonna tap this out. Yeah, this is a little bit hard to blend. I feel like you can still see those dots. I think I'm gonna do this and then tap it on the back of my hand and blend it out that way. That's probably gonna be easier and less splotchy, yeah. Or let's just color it on the back of the hand and apply it that way. So this also has SPF 30 protection. It's infused with mango and shea butter and niacinamide. We have another niacinamide based product. Whoa, I put on a little bit too much there. And it's a 93% skincare formula that's supposed to leave your skin smooth and protected with a glowy skin tint, and there are 10 shades. I don't know, I'm not excited about this product. I don't think it's going to work clearly for everybody, which I don't care about that. I mean, I test products that are not for my skin type all the time because I like to be able to recommend things that are for other skin types too, dry and even oilier than mine. But I guess I'd rather spend my money on products that I also think would work a little bit better for you guys. So unless I start hearing rave after rave after rave, I think I'm going to skip this one. I mean, I probably did go overboard, but that's okay. This is day one. This is a little bit warm toned. This is blending in like a second skin. It's not thick. I'm just evening out my deviated septum nose, and this blends out nicely. It's very creamy. It's not removing my foundation underneath. So yeah, that's good. I grabbed the Maybelline Lifter Sticks multi-use face stick in a couple of shades because I feel like there's some confusion around this product from everyone. I'm not sure if there's enough coverage for it to be a concealer. I'm going to try and use it as a concealer today. If not, I'll just use another concealer. I grabbed it in shade 20 and 65. So here is 65. And here is 20, which is close to my face shade. You almost can't even see that. So I'm going to try to conceal with this. I'm actually just going to dip my finger in it to kind of warm it up. There's some tackiness here. I probably should have gone a little bit lighter for it to really be a concealer. Okay, so I don't think that that conceals enough. I mean, let me just get these spots here. I have a sunspot here. Does it conceal? Let me try my darker circle and see if I get anything from it. So let's just try a little bit of this deeper shade and just see if it bronzes a little bit. So keep in mind, I have on a Stay Put foundation. These were not taking off my foundation, but they're very sheer and very skin-like, so I will give them that. But I also feel like I don't know if there's a place for them. This is the first time I'm trying them though, so keep that in mind too. I do not get enough concealing from this for red spots or sunspots. Now, if I'm applying it over bare skin, that could be a different story. I'm going to keep testing it. I got a very sheer bronze with shade 65 on my cheeks, but this is not enough to conceal my under eyes. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of my Tower 28 concealer because, I mean, why not? So I am reviewing the new Dior foundation, of course, but I am not, as of this point, planning to pick up the new Dior bronzer. It comes in a natural glow or a natural matte finish. It's supposed to be long wearing and transfer proof, and of course, buildable like most bronzers are. Oh my gosh, will you please stop watering? Stop watering. I'm gonna let my concealer sit there for a minute while I apply the CoverGirl Skin Enhancer Blush Balm in the shade Bubblegum Pop. I mean, this just looked fun. Do we apply it directly? Let's just try applying it directly and see how this goes. So the Dior bronzer also contains the essence of the Tan Beautifier Complex. It's got the skincare complex in it. This is not blending out the way I'd hoped. I don't know if this removed the cream bronzer that I applied, but there is brown on the end of the stick. So I'm just gonna take my finger and try and tap this out as opposed to applying it directly to my face because I still don't feel like that foundation has come off my face. Okay, that is applying better. So even if my blush looks a little bit strong right now, setting it with powder here in a minute is going to mute it a little bit. So I'm doing my usual method of scribbling it on the back of my hand and then dipping my tool in it. This is just my favorite way to apply blush because it just always looks more diffused and natural this way, and it's more buildable. It always applies more evenly right off the bat and looks more glowy and lit from within. So yeah, I much prefer that method. Let's do this maybe. See if you get a little lift to the cheek. I'm thinking these lifter sticks might be better purposed as contour sticks. What are your thoughts on that? Do you see a need for these? Okay, back to the Dior bronzer. It's skincare infused. There are 2 finishes, and I want to say there are 4 shades of each finish. My reason for not picking this up is because I have so many glowy and matte bronzers that I have yet to go through. I mean, I could say that about blushes, but there are so many tones and textures and finishes of blushes. But to me, you only need so many bronzers, and this is another one, unless I hear it's going to do something magical that my Charlotte Tilbury, Fenty, Gucci, my other favorite bronzers are not going to do. I just don't see a need to pick it up. And I mean, I do still have the other Dior bronzer that I love, and I've not finished that one. So that's where I stand right now with the Dior Forever Nude Bronze. Now, I was not a big fan of the Urban Decay Face Bond foundation that came out in 2024, like so many other people were. It was fine, but there were other foundations deserving of such viral status, in my opinion. And now they're launching, or have launched, I'm not sure where it stands by the time this video goes live, but the Face Bond Luminizer Waterproof Glow Drops for face and body. So I think because of that situation, I want to see how this is before I consider buying it. This is supposed to be a multi-use waterproof liquid highlighter and bronzer for the face, eyes, and body that applies evenly and gives you this soft, focused, shimmery glow. And it has niacinamide. It's supposed to be sweat proof, smudge proof, and transfer resistant. And I'm guessing this will probably go viral too. But as of now, I just don't see a need for this. I have not been wearing highlighters as much as before. I don't know why, but this is just not a product that I'm jumping on right now. Now come summertime, I could change my tune. But that's also what this video is about, is making more thoughtful purchases and really considering things before we buy them. Do you see how much that blush is muted from the powder? It's kind of crazy. I really love the way this is looking, just soft and peeking through, but I need to see if this applies well over powder. It's a stiffer formula, so I'm a little nervous about it. I'm going to use the new Refer LC02 brush, which is very similar to my beloved BK Beauty 109. I mean, look at these. They are similarly sized. So yeah, let's go in. I put it on the back of my hand and I'm crossing my fingers. I don't have a disaster here, but I guess that's what this video is for. Okay, I just swiped a little bit more on the back of my hand and I'm getting it on that brush. Apparently both of my eyes are watering, and I will say this about this little Kosas method that I've been using under my eyes on occasion. It doesn't hold up to my eyes watering the same way my Pat McGrath powder does. I see my makeup has just worn away here. I feel like I got some nice pigment. It's even, it looks natural and pretty. I feel like it's gonna last too because it's pretty hard to remove from the back of my hand. I also have this highlighter stick from CoverGirl in Moonlight. This is the same line as this. They came out with bronzers, contours, blushes, and highlighters. I just don't know how this is going to apply since it is a stiffer formula. So I'm going to tap it onto the back of my hand and get it kind of even there and then take it onto my cheekbone. I can see specks of glitter. I'm not going to apply this to this side. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not a fan of the highlighter, but I do like the bronzer and the blush, but they are formulas that I would advise applying to the back of your hand first and then blending out. I'm sweeping some Fenty Private Island bronzer across my face because I feel like my forehead looks bronzer than the rest of my face since I put powder on. So, okay. Just a little bit was all I needed. I'm setting my lids with setting powder because I used my City Beauty lid lifting treatment earlier to prep my eyelids just to smooth them and give a little bit of a lift. And I'm just using it as my primer today, but I'm using a powder eyeshadow and it's a little bit tacky, and I always set my eyeshadow primer or concealer, whatever I'm using, on my lids if I'm applying powder eyeshadow. Okay, so this Revlon Color Stay Face and Body Glow Lotion. This to me is just too many years too late. I love, love, love L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. It's the closest thing to Charlotte Tilbury. Have I lost the ability to talk? Possibly. Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Even though it's not in dupe packaging, the product inside is fabulous quality. It is high-end quality. L'Oreal has had this product for years and all these other brands have started to dupe it. And I mean, some good dupes have come out, but L'Oreal has always had my heart. And I think this Revlon one has a coconut scent. So if you like a coconut scent, you might really, really enjoy it. But I'm set. I don't need to spend my money on that. mess. I did pick up a few of the new Revlon products to test out though that I think could be really promising. I forgot to tell you that before filming today, I went ahead and applied, after curling my lashes, one coat of this Focallure lengthening mascara. This is kind of along the lines of the Judy Doll curling wand or curling iron mascara. It's got a really, really fine, small wand that almost can give a tight line effect at the base of your lashes. I didn't do that today. This is more of a mini mascara wand. It has these tiny fibers. It holds my curl really well, but what I really like, even though I don't normally like plastic lash combs, this one works really well and it gives a super, super natural look if I'm going for a no makeup look. I mean, you can see from one side to another, both sides are curled, but one looks almost invisible because my lashes are so fine and light. But on the side where I apply this, you can actually see them. But I also really like using this as a first coat before I apply a more lengthening, volumizing mascara. It holds my curl beautifully. This left eye has been watering this entire video, and normally these outer lashes would have completely fallen and they've stayed, which is nothing short of a miracle. So e.l.f. launched this Keep It Ethereal palette over the holidays, I think, and I picked it up. That's what I'm going to be using today, just casually, not even sure what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to take this shade along my lower lash line and talk about the new Maybelline Sunkisser Hazy Matte Blush. Now, I did not like the Maybelline Sunkisser blushes. I'm going to extend that line sort of up to my brow in a flicking motion. It looks weird now, but trust me, it's going to work out. That was a Rephr 02 brush. Now I'm taking that same shade on a Rephr 15 and putting it in my outer third and just sort of up into my crease and transition, almost up to the brow. If you have hooded lids, heavy lids, deep set or downturned eyes, you want to go above your crease to create some dimension. I mean, you see how much better that looks than this eye over here. It just looks a little more tired over here. You want to go up and out, up and out. Bend and snap, but up and out. I'm going to take that same Rephr 02 brush in this light shade here and just apply it across my lid. I mean, I could just go with this and not line at all. You could do that. So the reason why I didn't like the Maybelline Sunkisser blushes was because they were so sheer, at least the two shades I got, that they just looked like highlighter on me. And one of the shades was actually pretty deep and neither one looked the way they looked on me in the photos. They were very deceiving. So I took this lighter shade on a Rephr 02 brush and just swept it across my lid over to that other shade we just applied. So this is a matte version of that same blush. It's supposed to give a beautiful sun-kissed effect like you just returned from vacation. It's supposed to be buildable and melt into your skin, and there are 3 shades. I just don't see a need to get this. I have enough matte blushes, enough matte liquid blushes, and I'm just realizing I think that highlighter took off some of my blush here. It's okay, we didn't like the glitter anyway. We're already not liking that stick highlighter from CoverGirl. So I think I'm passing on the matte Sunkisser blushes. However, I will probably try the highlighters that they're launching or have launched by the time this video goes live, because I want to see how the highlighters different from the blushes I got that were basically highlighters. I mean, you know, the highlighters could be great. So I kind of do want to test those out. I'm going to take this brown shade on a slanted brush. This is a Sigma E65, tapping off the excess, and I'm just doing a little tiny flick to give a little lift. You do not have to be precise here at all. This is the easiest thing in the world. Now I'm just sort of pressing and lifting up at my lash line on the outer third of my eye only to build up this pigment. That's it. That's all I'm going to do there. Now I'm taking a pencil brush. This is Rephr 03 into a slightly lighter shade, tapping off the excess, and I am swirling this into that liner we just did and slightly above to give a soft, smoky sort of gradient effect that gives a lift to your eye. You can do this even if you have hooded eyes. It's really pretty when you look down, look around, close your eyes. You can do it all the way in if you want. I just have slightly downturned eyes, so I like to concentrate this on the outer part of my eye for a slight lift. So even though this is a nice everyday look, I am going to add a more volumizing, lengthening mascara. I want to mess around with these 3 shimmers here, or are they toppers? I mean, they look like they could be either. Oh, they're very, very subtle. Okay, maybe I do want to play around with them a little bit. Let's see what this darker one does. Do we get pigment from it? Sort of press, swipe. I'm dipping back into this shade just to marry those two. I'm dipping back into this shade to highlight my brow bone just slightly and my inner corner. Okay, this is real time, real life right now, me trying to fix my watery eye situation. So my eyes started watering a lot and it messed up my eye makeup all the way from here to here, right under my lash line. So I'm taking this Wet n Wild Cooling Hydra Depuffer stick. Because it's an emollient balm stick, it's gonna allow me to blend some concealer into my existing concealer that's already been powdered and layer it a little bit more. Sometimes I will just take a makeup wipe and wipe off my concealer completely, but I'm gonna try and not do that today, and we're just gonna see if this works. So this is probably only gonna take me so far, but I am going to powder with my Pat McGrath powder, which holds up better. I also have this crease fold under my eye that gets really, really irritated when my eye waters. So that's part of my issue. And also my eye is still watering. So you see how that just blended in fine because we use that emollient balm. Whereas usually if you try to blend liquids into set cream products, it can end up being a disaster. Okay, so I don't have my pink one up here. I have this light white one, which is fine. I'm gonna dab it on first, and then I'm going to press it with either a puff or my damp sponge from earlier into my crease prone areas, watery prone areas, and then we're gonna go in with that bronzer, so we don't have this situation. I used Butter Together NYX Buttermelt Bronzer to even the blush out on both sides because it did take off some of that blush. So I think we're looking pretty okay, and I'm going to finish this eye and chat about why I'm not getting the new Makeup by Mario Hydrating Super Shine Lip Gloss. I just have so many, where did my eyeshadow palette go? I have so many similar lip glosses, or I think they're similar, that look more pigmented, but also provide benefits. I just don't think I need these in my collection. Now, if they're sent to me, will I try them and review them? Yes. But based on what I'm seeing, I just don't think these are a necessity. So these are supposed to be super shiny lip glosses that hydrate and smooth like lip glosses do. They have pomegranate extract, jojoba oil, and hyaluronic acid, and they're supposed to give a glass-like finish. I just don't need them, which is kind of weird for me because I usually go for anything Makeup by Mario puts out because I usually end up liking everything, but just not feeling these. Again, never say never. I could start seeing reviews and get sucked in, but as of now, that's where I stand. Summer Fridays launched some new shades of the Dream Lip Oil. Now, I know a lot of people really, really love this formula, but for me, these were just okay. I don't really love these over other lip oils I have. It's pretty plush and hydrating, but I mean, I just have other lip oils that I enjoy the experience of a little bit more. I mean, I have enough lip oils to last a lifetime at this point. So unless there's just some amazing feature that's calling out to me, I just don't see the need to purchase new shades of an existing lip oil that is just okay for me. I have a lot I like from Summer Fridays, but these are a pass. I'm using the Super Fan mascara from Smashbox. I haven't really heard anybody talk about this, but I've been liking this for length and volume. I do need to comb it out because it can be kind of clumpy otherwise. I mean, I have a clump-prone lashes, so I have to comb through most mascaras, but as long as I do that, it looks pretty good. It doesn't flake or smudge. It's a wet formula, so I need to scrape the brush off first, but as long as I do that, I've really been enjoying it. It's been working out well for me so far, so stay tuned for my full review. This isn't a new product, but it is new to me. So as you can see, I took my hair down and I put on one of the Revlon Super Lustrous lips. This is Honey Shine, which is more peachy pink coral than I thought it was going to be with the name Honey. It's still really pretty. It's definitely a shade I think I'm going to be reaching for in spring and summer, but I'd like to find a shade that is more nude neutral and maybe a lighter peachy pink nude, one that's less coral too. If you've tried this and you've found a shade like that, let me know. I mean, it does look brighter and more scary here, but man, it feels great on my lips. This is a really nice formula, and I wanted you to see that even though it's sheer, you still get some pigmentation because I only lined the perimeter of my lips with this Kokie Velvet Smooth lip liner. This is a new formula from them that I'm still not sure how I feel about. So this shade is Peachy Pink, which coordinates really nicely with this Honey Shine Revlon Super Lustrous lip. I don't usually outline just the perimeter of my lips. I normally fill them in, but I felt like that was the best way for you to see how much pigmentation you can get from this lipstick formula. So I'm going to blot this off because I want you to see the new Milani Keep It Full Glossy Plumping Balm. There are some things I like and don't like about these Kokie lip liners. I mean, they do stay put, but it's a bit of a drier formula. There's some other things too. I'll have a full review on them coming up. So this is another clicky type hybrid glossy lip balm formula that does not click back down. The shade I have is Ribbon. It's a smushy formula similar to the original Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip, which is why it doesn't click back down, because you would end up with a big mess here because it is so soft. And I think you can see, since I do have some natural darker pigmentation around the perimeter of my lips, that this is a pretty sheer tint. It's very hydrating and comfortable, and there is some thickness to it, but it doesn't feel sticky. I sort of wish there was more pigmentation, that it wasn't so sheer, because it is very comfortable. It feels mildly cooling. There's no stinging or anything like that, and it's flattering. I mean, it smooths my lip lines, but I feel like I need to wear a lip liner underneath these since they're so sheer. Now, if you like a sheer tint and a very comfortable, nourishing formula, this is going to be a great one for you. So let me know your thoughts on these new makeup releases. Do you agree with my rationale of not purchasing them right away? Or do you think because we are beauty YouTubers, beauty gurus, whatever you want to call us, that we should just purchase things anyway so that you guys can get reviews right out of the gate? We shouldn't be this thoughtful with our purchases. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below, and let me know what you think about the products that I tried on today too. How do you want to see them reviewed? In my monthly favorites and fails, a different type of video? I am looking for feedback from you guys. You can see what I loved and didn't love in December ranked in this video here if you haven't already. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you're not, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.